As a preliminary matter, this is John Regan, Chair of the Auburn Planning Board. Permit me to confirm that all members are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ronald Brooks.
Present.
Duarkesh Nallen.
Present.
Todd Crane is on vacation, and I don't know if Sierra's joining via, and Sierra's sick. Town officials and employees participating, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Town planner Adam Menard.
Here.
Staff Assistant Rachel Pressey.
Present.
Good evening. This is the open meeting of the Town of Auburn Planning Board of Tuesday, August 9, 2022, now called to order at 7 p.m. This meeting is being conducted both in person and remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order on March 12, 2020, and extended to June 16, 2021. For this meeting, the Planning Board is convening in person and by remote access. For the public to join the meeting remotely by telephone, call 1-312-757-3121 and enter access code 133-747-477. Or the public can join via computer at the gotomeeting.com/join/133-747-477. Remote access information has been posted on the town's website identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded by the Auburn Cable Television. Is there anyone here in the audience tonight that is recording this meeting? Being none, please note that this meeting is being recorded by Auburn Cable Television. Is there anyone here in the, oh, I already said that. Accordingly, those members of the Planning Board, employees, and members of the public who participate remotely, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and please take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. Please rise and join us in the salute to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All supporting materials that have been provided to the members of this body are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. Meeting business ground rules. We are now turning to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for the effective and clear conduct of our business and to ensure accurate meeting minutes. I, Chair of the Board, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the Chair will go down the line with the members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Please remember to speak clearly and into the microphone in a way that helps generate accurate minutes, which the microphone will be over there at the podium. I would like to remind the audience, applicants, and town administration, and each of the planning board members to please refrain from asking questions in regards to all matters discussed this evening without first being granted my consent. Each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. First on the agenda is A&R plan from Nathan Campaniello, 219 Prospect Street. Is anyone here representing Nathan? Please go to the podium.
Evening, Nathan Campanello.
Is that mic on, Rich?
Hello.
There it is.
Good evening, Nathan Campanello.
And you want to subdivide your lot?
That is correct, sir.
Two on Prospect Street and one on Eddy Street?
That's correct, sir.
I'm having problems and am listening to the audio, period. I may quit very shortly.
I don't know who that is.
Anybody that's participating remotely from a computer, please turn off your microphone until you are called upon to speak. Thank you very much. Anybody in the audience have any questions regarding this? None? Duarkesh, do you have any questions?
No questions.
Ron, do you have any questions?
No.
Neither do I. May I have a motion to approve this A&R plan as presented?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second it.
All those in favor? Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
I myself, John Regan, is an aye, it is a vote.
Good luck.
Yeah, we gotta sign that.
Thank you very much.
How many you need?
All of them, yeah.
Yeah, you need the small ones.
No.
It's one of the miles.
Yeah.
Use this on the mile.
This was the Mylar, right?
No, the mile is the last one. Use the default pen for all of them.
Adam?
No. All right, I won't take the others.
We were driving down Main Street and passed City Hall, so next you have the right. Right there.
That's the Mylar cap.
Thank you. They just didn't have anything else. Turning,
This is done.
same thing as last time. Darlene had a comment just to make sure that they're connecting to sewer, they need to go through Board of Health for septic. They're still on septic,
You're kidding.
but she said they still need work on that.
I didn't know if we could be telling them the sewer right in front of the building.
Should be on sewer.
I should know. No type there for it. Wouldn't be on the red line, right? That's unusual. I know it's a service in all that stuff. It's a service out there.
Oh, yeah.
You're all set on. Kate. Yes, sir. Next on our agenda, 7 p.m., applicant Richard Hakala, hope I said that right, requesting site plan approval on section 9.4 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a church at 188 Oxford Street North, Auburn, Mass. 01501, map 17, parcel 211. May I have a motion to open the hearing?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, Ron?
Aye.
Rakesh?
Aye.
Aye, John Regan, myself is an aye, it is a vote. Is there anyone here representing the applicant? Is no one here representing this for the church at 188 Oxford Street? It's not.
I'm turning it off. It's very useless listening to the audio.
If you're trying to talk down the line, we really can't hear you. Can you speak a little clearer? Are you representing the church?
Can I just continue it?
We can't continue it, yeah.
Okay, seeing as no one here representing this parcel of land, may I have a motion to continue it?
I'll make a motion to
I'll come down and we can drive over to Shrewsbury Street.
What did he say?
We can't hear you. Can you speak a little clearer and louder? They hung up.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, Ron?
John.
He has a question about the plan.
Who does? Okay, sure.
On the butter.
I live next door to the
You have
church.
to go to the microphone, please.
I live next door to the church. They've already
Right-hand
started
side?
work. What's that?
On the right-hand side?
Yeah. They've already started doing work over there. They tore off that jog off the back of that building. The asbestos siding has still been laying on the ground since last of June. So I have a 9-year-old that still plays in the backyard. There's asbestos siding on the ground. There's chunks of it laying everywhere. Is this ever gonna get cleaned up, fixed up, or to what level do I go to the state next? Because I've called the town twice.
I believe that would be a complaint to the Auburn Health, Board of Health, and to Caleb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I've called them twice already.
Capacity. You called them twice?
Yes.
And no one's come out to take a look at it?
Still been
You know if
sitting,
the
it's been
siding's
sitting there for a month now.
Is it, are you sure the siding's asbestos, or
Oh, 100%.
did anybody test it? It has to be tested.
I'm legally not able to test it, but I had Oxford D-letting. They came out and looked at it and said it's asbestos siding.
Not that I didn't believe you, just,
No, it's, but I tried buying the building, that's also why I know.
right. So, we can pass that, your concerns along to Caleb Moody again, and to Darlene and the Board of Health, and
Okay.
see if we can get something done for you.
I also have one more question, is what are they doing about parking for over there? Because if they want to make that a church,
That is going
it's
to
not part of their
be,
land.
yeah, it's going to be, you remember the previous church that was going to go
Yep.
there? It's the same thing.
But they're, how is that possible that this church doesn't own the land? They're renting it off another church. Is that how businesses are going to be run around here, that if I don't own the land, I can use somebody else's for parking? Because at some point, what happens if they sell that building to condos like they tried 10 years ago? They lose their parking? Or how is that going to work?
Well, that's an agreement between, I think they have to buy the church in order to have it. 'Cause that,
Yep.
the first go-around, they had to buy the church. And then, some of the land in back is theirs, but the biggest part of the parking is owned by St. Joe's.
Correct.
They were gonna give them permission or let them lease it.
Yep.
So if they ever left the building and closed the church, then that would just revert back to St. Joe's, I would think.
What happens if St. Joe's decides to sell like they did 10 years ago? They wanted to build low-income housing over there. They were going to sell it. So if they change that to condos late in the future, what happens with this church's parking?
That'd be part of the sale of the building and the lot, I would imagine.
So
If there's a change in use to any of the site plan.
Right, it would be a change of use, so they have to go through the whole site plan review, everything. It's gotta go peer review, everything.
okay.
If that if that's what they wanted to do. I can't foresee St. Joe's wanting to sell that rectory again, but you never know.
Exactly.
You never know.
They've talked about it a few times. Okay.
Like I said, we can pass your concerns along to the Board of Health and to the building commissioner. See if we get somebody out there to look at it and enforce, have them
Okay.
clean that up. Your main concern is the asbestos shingles, right?
Correct.
Yeah, they're the old cement-looking ones.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of fiber in them.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Discussions. This has already been continued. Let's see.
I made that motion, right, Rick?
Yep.
What?
Okay. Could I have a motion to continue the hearing for 188 Oxford Street?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, Ron?
Aye.
Rakesh?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, and I, it is a vote. Next on the agenda is applicant Brendan Greeley requesting site plan approval under 9.4 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for garage and site improvements to be constructed at an existing commercial business at 4 Washington Street, Auburn, Mass. 01501, map 28, parcel 3. Is there anyone representing Brendan Greeley?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Dominic Rinaldi, DS Group, on behalf of the applicant.
Okay.
I apologize, I have some dice at night and not at home. So hopefully it works on your end.
Need to open
So
the hearing
architectural
first.
places would
Open the
like
hearing.
to
Oh, first off,
construct a,
hang on just a second. We have a motion to open the hearing.
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, aye, it is a vote. Please continue, Mr. Rinaldi.
sure, absolutely, sorry about that. So I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Architectural Fireplace, would like to construct a one-story prefab metal bay garage on their existing facility at Fort Washington Street. Currently, the existing property is used as a showroom and distribution center for architectural fireplaces for their fireplace products. And unfortunately, they have had the bad luck of having some break-ins and vandalism to their 3 trucks that they keep right overnight, and they would like to be able to park them in a locked facility to protect against that. With, as I said, a single-story prefabricated metal garage on a concrete slab that'll be built a little to the southeast of the existing facility, mostly in what is currently grass, a little bit on existing pavement. As part of this work, to offset the increased impervious stormwater runoff, we are proposing a small infiltrating bioretention area in the existing grass area of that.
This has gone out for peer review, I believe, and
Yeah.
those will be discussed at the next planning board meeting. But one of the things I saw is you have 2 water lines going right through the new building, existing water lines.
Yeah, so we're going to do a little work to figure out if those are exactly there. We're not sure. Those are based on record plans. And this would be a slab on grade foundation, so it's not, those water lines structurally could actually stay there.
That'd be
They-
up to the town, water and sewer department and DPW.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know we got some comments from the building department, but we didn't get any comments from any other town departments as yet. And this afternoon, as you mentioned, it did go out for peer review, and I did get peer review comments this afternoon. Obviously, you get tonight, unless you really wanted to.
Well,
We could try.
there were some comments from the Auburn Fire and Rescue Department. No information has been provided to confirm that the turning criteria used on the submitted fire truck turning movement drawing Civil drawing 2345000 LM is identical to the Auburn Fire Rescue Department apparatus. The provided fire department access road does not comply with the requirements of 527 CMR 1.0, Chapter 18, Fire Department Access and Water Supply. The inside turning radius from the site onto Arnold Road is less than the required 25 feet, and the fire apparatus use of the opposing lane and the design of the fire department access road is prohibited for 527 CMR 1.0, 18.2.3.4.8. So you did hear from the fire department. Or it should have been
Yeah, and I
forwarded to you.
Yeah, but we're in the process of trying to reach out to the fire department to discuss those. We, a lot of those are actually talking, the turns on the road and the access behind the building are all conditions that have been there for a long time that we're not changing.
I understand that. But like I said, this will have to be continued until the next meeting, so we can get our peer review in, we get to read it and get it forwarded back
Yeah.
to you, so you can address the peer review comments. You know the routine.
Yeah, I know, I assume that. Not the peer review today, but that would be the case.
I'm sure they have some comments. I doubt if it's gonna be a ton of comments, because it's a small site. It's a fairly small building.
Yep. Yeah, it's not a long letter.
No, just for a couple of trucks, right?
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna do. All right, if you don't mind, I'm gonna ask for a motion to continue.
All the comments
Any
first.
public comments on this? Being none, may I have a motion?
I have one
Okay,
question.
go ahead.
Is the peer review being done on the existing site plan, or would they update the site plan and then send it out for peer review?
This plan was sent to the peer reviewer.
Okay,
Peer reviewer makes their comments.
yeah,
They send those comments back to Mr. Rinaldi, the
and then he's going to update
BSC
it.
group, and then he gets to address them, and then peer review guy
Okay,
makes sure he gets everything checked
Okay.
off.
okay,
Goes back and forth a couple times.
sounds good.
So may I have a motion to continue this till our next meeting?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank
In
you.
a few weeks.
Next on the agenda is, at 7:10, is applicant Mira Company Incorporated requesting site plan approval under section 3.2.6.4, contractor's yard of the Auburn zoning bylaws for a warehouse with office space, outside storage, and site improvements to be constructed at 3 Commerce Drive, Lot 2, Auburn, Mass. 01501, map 34, parcel 37. May I have a motion to open the hearing?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. So I assume you're representing,
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. My name is Steve O'Connell from Turning Point Engineering. With me here this evening is Travis Brown from Turning Point Engineering, Mr. Dan Duvall, General Manager of Miracum, and his associate, Tony Bonafato, in operations with Mira, a local, kind of a local representative for the region.
no, 'cause I
So-
don't know how local they are. They're out of Georgetown.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving far away from home.
Yeah, Mr. Duvall made quite a long drive to get here, so we'll make good use of his time. So, thank you. This is a site plan application for Lot 2 in the Auburn Commerce Park subdivision. Mira has this lot under agreement from the subdivision developer.
Eastland Partners.
Correct, Simpson Partners. And we've worked closely with Mira to meet their specifications for their needs and their operational needs of the site plan. And maybe before I do that, I'd ask Mr. Duvall to talk a little bit about what Mira does for those who don't don't know, I know you probably know, Mr. Chairman, but for those who don't know,
please.
if, quick,
Please don't.
quick overview?
Oh, absolutely.
Great.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. Mira Company is a utility contractor supporting public and private utility construction. We're based out of Georgetown. We have some satellite yards that we've rented property, but this would be our first step. We're a 69-year-old company, and we'd love to celebrate our 70th next year in Auburn, if we could. We have a significant operation that's based here in Worcester, supporting electric. We also support gas and fiber optic construction. So type of work that we do is 7/24, but the nature of off hours is generally emergency work, call out, special support, storm, damage, trouble jobs, if you will. About 250 employees, fairly well respected in the industry, I hope, and we've done a lot of poking around, and we really like this location, and we're excited about, as I said, the possibility of our first satellite operation with our own facility that would support these operations. Essentially, it's a construction yard with storage and a small office space with some warehouse.
What kind of storage? Is it all going to be in the warehouse, or is it going to be storage out there on the lot?
It would be inside and outside storage. Typically, the outside storage would be more along the line of like PVC pipe,
Pipe, yeah.
precast concrete, those types of things that would support the utility work. And then under lock and key inside the building would be more, valuable, technology that would be weather protected. And
Does anyone from the audience have any questions regarding this project? Being none, anybody on the board?
Would you have motor vehicles or anything stored outside?
yes, sir, that would be, we would have heavy equipment, dump trucks, backhoes that would be staged in this location.
Yes.
I don't know, I didn't even...
Oh, we have such a large warehouse. Is there going to be any equipment repair in that warehouse? I mean, if you got a broken down machine, you're not going to take it all the way back to Georgetown.
It would be a maintenance facility as well.
Okay, so, I believe you have it, but that would require an oil and water separator for your lot? Before-
Yes, correct. Yeah, if there's a floor drain, and it's because they drive in and drive through,
Right.
then yeah, the building plans will incorporate a oil-water separator, MDC trap.
Right, is this,
In the outside storage area,
Outside storage area.
where the trucks and backhoes and all of that'll be parked? You'll
Yeah.
have oil and water separators out there?
That's correct, yep. So this site, the stormwater system for this site was designed to meet the stormwater management standard for a LUPL, land used with higher potential pollutant loads. So, there's an element of outdoor storage and fleet vehicle storage that we think pushes us over that threshold, so it was designed to meet that higher standard.
so I'm assuming that the entire area is going to be paved?
Yes.
At least 90% of it.
Yeah, so what, you can hear me okay? Yeah, so this is the limit of the paving. Quickly highlighted here in pink.
Yep.
And this is the site access out to the cul-de-sac of the subdivision. The lot goes all the way out to the boundary here, a couple of acres of wetlands, 25-foot buffer we're staying away from to comply with the Conservation Commission's policy. At the request of DPW, we did take away some paving that went to a point, we just thought it was a little excessive, so we kind of chopped it off, they would be appreciative of that. There's an area in the back, divided here by this green line. There will be fence for security, so everything inside of this fence that needs to be kept secure will be done so.
Chain link? Chain link fence?
Chain link fence with gates, correct. We did provide a detailed lighting plan One of the comments we received from the Auburn Police Chief was about security and lighting. I talked to Mr. Duvall. Security is a top priority. There will be a security camera system in conjunction with the lighting that's provided in the site plan.
And none of the lighting is going to go beyond the borders
No
of the
lighting goes
property?
beyond the property, correct, yep, and the photometric plan included illustrates that. A little bit more about their operation. So although Mr. Duvall indicated a number of 250 employees, the satellite location is not quite that big. They have about, yeah, they have about 6 crews, and every crew has a foreman. The foreman is the only person that comes to the site. He has his company vehicle, so he drives a company vehicle, comes to the site, gets what he needs. If he has to hook up a trailer with a backhoe, hook up a generator, that he tows, he comes and gets it. Some other materials, some pipes, some fittings, some elbows, some cable, takes it to the job site where he meets the rest of his crew. So there's about 6 of those crews, 6 foremen. There's 4 to 5 office employees that'll occupy the office space, and then there'll be 2 mechanics employed in the warehouse space, ready to service anything that needs service, whether it's a backhoe or, maybe it's a company vehicle, a company truck, any sort of equipment that, a Bobcat, things of that nature that the company owns and operates as part of their operation. So we provided 34 parking spaces, which we feel meets the criteria in the planning board regulations, which is based on square footage of office, square footage of warehouse, and then up to the number of employees on the largest shift, which we said were 10. So the foreman will show up in the morning at 6:30. They'll be on site for about a half an hour gathering their things, and then they leave. And they only really come back if they have to get a couple more supplies. But, hopefully not, that, it's not efficient use of their time. The office and mechanics will arrive at 7, and they'll work till 3:30. There's not a lot of coming and going during the day. It's not a distribution facility where there's trucks coming and going. There's not a lot of visitors to the site, according to Dan and his staff.
Just salesman.
There'll be like a vendor. There'll be someone who probably wants to come and sell them their pipe. So the vendor will come and make a sales pitch. Maybe they'll have a little corporate meeting every 6 months where 4 or 5 of managers come to the site. But from a day-to-day basis, fairly small satellite operation, but something that they'll be proud to call home, away from home.
The general manager said they're going to have dump trucks there as well. Where do those guys park?
The dump trucks?
Not the dump trucks, the people driving them.
Yeah, well, if
Has a pickup pulling a trailer, he needs a triaxle or a 6-wheeler, somebody else has got to come drive it, so they got to park somewhere. I assume it's going to be in the lot.
Yeah, so he may park in the lot. So with 34 spaces, we accounted for, about, those foremen. Not all, they won't all have dump trucks or need to take a dump truck, but let's say half of them or 4 out of the 6 need to take a dump truck that day, for a triaxle.
I know the way they work, and most of the utility guys, once the dump truck is out on site, it stays out there. They give a guy a ride back to get his car. Yada,
You
yada,
got it.
yada.
Yeah, exactly. You've always had a lot of common sense about these sorts of things. It's nice.
Anybody on the board have any questions?
John, I had a few questions.
Sure, go ahead, Rajesh.
One is, I think so from the site plan itself, is there a second driveway that goes to Route 20?
Yeah, so as part of the subdivision, right, here's the cul-de-sac.
Uh-huh.
This is an emergency access drive that goes all the way to the front of the development. The development currently proposed for Lot 1, we did come to a development coordination group meeting, and that emergency access drive is actually going to tie into the proposed development on Lot 1, and the fire chief was happy about that. But the driveway portion of this emergency access road is 24 feet wide. When you get past the opening for Mira's site entrance, it meets the fire department access road requirements of 20 feet. It's all paved, 24 feet for the driveway portion for Mira, and 20 feet for the emergency access portion.
Okay, okay.
And there will be a gate here after the Mira driveway, because that's not a day-to-day use driveway. It's just for emergency access, so it'll be an emergency breakaway style gate. And that was on the subdivision plan.
Steve, if you look at that inland bank, right? So in the map on the northern, so from the cul-de-sac, yeah,
There's two of
come
them.
down. There's two, the top one, yeah, so that, on the map, it shows 20 feet wide. Is that okay? Is that okay with the fire department?
This is 24.
So, okay, on the map, why am I seeing it as 20 feet, or is that wrong? The shaded portion there? Yeah, yeah, right there, where, okay.
And then this is 20.
Okay. Okay. And then on the, that's helpful, Steve. On the materials, the storage itself, there's no chemicals that'll be stored on site? It'll just be,
Oil.
just oil, maybe?
Yeah, you could drive by their facility now on Route 20 in Worcester near Kamasi Landscape Supply, and you could see through their fence the type of materials they store. It's a lot of, a lot of plastic pipe, conduit, fittings, elbows. There are some reels of wire.
Okay.
But yeah, no chemicals.
Okay. And then, on the number of trips, is there, did you guys do a traffic study? Is there an impact on that, on the, on the traffic coming out of the area?
So we did it, the traffic study we provided with the subdivision assumed that this use would be more intense.
Okay.
So what I can do is I can kind of resubmit that traffic study, if that's helpful, to show you that a more intense use that was assumed here as part of the subdivision, because it was a 20,000 square foot manufacturing building that was assumed as part of the subdivision approval.
Okay.
And this is much less intense than that. So I could provide you kind of a summary of those figures, if that would be helpful. I didn't think another traffic study was necessary, given the fact that we had, we had one for Ross Trucking, we had one for the entire subdivision, so.
Okay, that's right, yeah, it's essentially going to be an add-on to that, so will not expect any additional traffic flow, right?
Correct, yeah. In fact, less than assumed during the subdivision
Yeah.
approval.
Yeah, you're gonna be, it's gonna be like once out, once in the morning, once out, once in at night.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Less than a single-family
Not gonna
house.
be back and forth like Ross Express.
Yep, yes, definitely.
Okay,
Any questions,
that's
Ron?
all I have.
My question is, where you say inland bank, it looks like it's a box culvert, the way it's drawn.
Yeah, so the inland bank is a reference to the existing conditions that part of the wetland system that's classified as an inland bank. There's no bordering vegetated wetland there. That portion of the wetland only has some stream bank. Because it's not a coastal bank, it's an inland bank, so it's a stream bank. And that's an existing condition. You would have seen that on the subdivision plans as well. So that box culvert that is shown on these plans, that's actually built, because that was part of the subdivision emergency
The
access
next
road.
one further down the page.
Yeah, and this one too. They're both built.
It's already built, okay?
Yep, they're both built, ready for paving. Meet, part of the conservation approval for the subdivision road as well.
Have you been before the Conservation Commission yet?
Tomorrow night.
All right.
And the DEP issued a file number with a few minor comments, and so,
And, well, you're gonna enter on Route 20 from Commerce Drive, so you don't need a curb cut.
correct.
They didn't have a lot of notes on these. Mine's pretty well done.
John and Adam, I have one question.
Sure,
Is
go
there, do we need a peer review for this one?
Yeah, this has been sent out.
Has it been sent out already? Okay.
Already
Great.
sent out.
Yep, I spoke with Jeff Walsh at the end of last week, and he was expecting it to maybe arrive in the mail that day or the next day. So peer review is underway.
Yeah. Well, you should be getting it back anytime. It hasn't been forwarded to you yet, and as we discussed earlier, you got to address all the things. It goes back to the peer reviewer. He says whether or not you met the requirements of the peer review, and then we go on from there.
And with a little extra time, because of your summer meeting schedule between now and your next meeting, we would expect to have some back and forth and
Oh, sure,
come back with everything resolved.
I'm sure. Does anyone else have any questions? Anybody from the audience have any questions regarding this? If there being none, may I have a motion to continue to our next meeting?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. We'll hopefully see you the next meeting where everything will
We'll
be
be
done.
here. Thanks so much. Yep.
Have a good one. Next on the agenda for 7:15 is applicant for 460 Southbridge Street, LLC, requesting site plan approval under section 3.2.5.15 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a motorcycle dealership and repair shop at an existing commercial site. May I have a motion to open the hearing?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor, Ron?
Aye.
Rakesh?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. The meeting is now open. Is there anyone here representing 460 Isle? There you go. Southbridge Street. Okay, would you like to make a quick presentation?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. For the record, I'm Robert Dovagary in Outline Engineering. We're here representing Mr. Wagner. We've applied to the planning board. Because Mr. Wagner would like to put a motorcycle dealership in the building at 468 Southbridge Street. Currently, that's the TD Bank and the Ready
Med,
Med
yep.
Center. That's about half the building. The building, it's total 25,000 square feet. Half of it's rented out at this time with those two units. There's the remaining 16,000 square feet, he wants to put the motorcycle dealership in there. So as required, the use requires us to file with the planning board for a site plan approval.
Is that mic working?
Yeah, it's working. So, on your application, like you said, it's going to be a motorcycle dealership. Does that mean there's going to be motorcycles outside in the parking lot, like Sheldon's does?
You want to answer that, Mark? I think
Sure. No, well, again, we're in Worcester now. We're over on Plantation Street. So a majority of our business is inside. I mean, being motorcycles, being in New England. So we're designing a service drive that's inside. So we are, and again, for security, we like to bring everything inside, have everything locked up. So we are going to use all the interior space for our display. We probably would have couple parking spots for, just a new bike display, but those would just be the everyday parking spots that are there and paved.
I assume there's going to be motorcycle repair at this shop and
Yes, exactly. yeah.
painting if necessary, and
Again, we've been dealing with New England for so many years, and Worcester, we're trying to create an environment that would bring the bikes in for service write-up and parking and everything, so we've worked on that.
so if you have repair and painting, you have to put in an oil water separator.
that would be correct.
That's public health going to require DPW, state, everybody. So did this go off for peer review or not? Let me see, how was it? You get the phones, right? So, do you know where the oil water separator would go? How it would tie into the sewer? Because right now, the sewer runs off the west side roughly.
Yeah, in the loading dock area,
Pardon me?
in the loading dock area.
On the loading, this is the site, it would be on the right side, the loading dock is in the right rear side, the water sewer.
Yeah, the loading dock isn't flagged out, so I don't know where that would be. Is that right behind Ready Med, or is it to the right of Ready Med?
Right here, so here's your entrance, here's the front of your building.
Right.
So here's your kiosk to the bank, and then the water sewer's out here. So we would position it in a place that would work.
Yeah, you gotta go to the mic.
Apologize.
There you go. So you're not gonna repave anything out there, you're not changing any of the exterior really, other than maybe the oil water separator? Is that
That's,
correct?
well, there was a reply from the police chief, and he's looking for some additional...
Move the mic close to your mouth. so I
I'm
can't
very
hear.
sorry again. It's
Okay.
second meeting in 3 years. The police chief wants some exterior lighting. We're gonna provide that. We're gonna get in touch with him directly and find out what he would prefer. And then he's looking for some video cameras. We are gonna install those. So that is probably, at this point, the extent of the exterior work.
Lighting and signage.
Lighting and cameras. Not so much signage at this point.
Well, there's no one else in the audience, so I'm not gonna ask him if he has a question, else the chair can talk. Anybody on the board have any questions?
How are you splitting the parking spaces that exist currently with the other two businesses?
Well, the
How many
parking...
do you require?
What's that, Mr. Brooks? Yeah.
How many do you require?
Well, we have to review, the parking issue solves a kind of a little on a difficult day. Initial project was approved in 1995, site plan, and it required 119 stalls, which they did provide. Then in 1999, you changed the parking requirements. It was initially one stall per 180 square feet of net floor area. The original building met that, but when you changed the regulations in the zoning regulations in 1999, became that plus one per employee. So the change in the zoning kind of made the parking non-conforming in that respect. Followed up in 2015, where a site plan was approved by the town, which took 7 spaces to put the bank kiosks in. They took 7 spaces out. Currently, right now, there's 111 parking spaces on the site from the original 119. So, myself, I went through the site today. Half the parking spaces were occupied out of the 111. I'd say about half. So,
Yeah, most of those are probably for ready-made.
ready-made, certainly, the bank would, ready-made has longer hours, obviously, than the bank, so, bank closes, the less that demand disappears in a ready-made.
And you're not gonna, you may possibly in good weather display motorcycles outside in some of those spots?
Apologize, what's that again?
In nice weather, did you say you might display some motorcycles outside?
Yes, I mean, obviously, being a retail outlet, we would, like to at least, put, like we have 3 bikes outside our motorcycle store right now, so it would be nice just to get a little presence, but they go in and out every night for security, things of that nature, so.
Would those be out in the parking lot, or would they be under the overhang? Because if they're under the overhang, they don't take up any parking space.
Well, again, the Route 290 is really what attracts us, with abutting that, so we really want to stay on that side of the building and get that exposure, so the bikes in our area would be nice, so.
Beautiful, thank you.
Who's ever joining by remote, can you please shut off your mic till you're called upon, please? Thank you.
Well, use my book.
Once again, if you're participating by remote, please turn off the mic to your phone or your computer, please. You're interfering with the meeting.
My book.
Do you have any more questions, Ron?
No.
Do you have any questions, Rakesh?
A couple of questions. I think one is maybe on the one that Rachel identified, the license itself. So this, because you're selling motor vehicles or motorcycles, and then you're also repairing, you would need the Class 1 and Class 2 license?
Correct, through the selectmen.
So would that be essentially transferred to this location from Worcester, or would you apply for new ones?
You would have to apply in the town.
We're applying for a new one.
You can't
We're
swap
currently
between.
applying for a new one right now.
Okay. And Adam, is there a requirement for us to wait till we obtain the license? No? Okay. Then the second one, I think on the site plan, I'm a little, I think I'm lost here because there's less details on the site plan. Is there a revision that is coming up on the site plan?
There, I'm
Is
sorry,
there a revised version of the site plan coming up?
site plan, no.
No, okay. 'Cause I think so is it all one level? What is the height of the structure?
It's one level.
One level, okay.
It's, again, TDY bank. Yeah, it was initially a staple Pier 1, all one floor, in our second floor.
And so where would the maintenance portion of this, of the vehicles be? Would it be on the back side of the?
We're positioning it on the Route 290 side of the building.
The back, isn't it the back side?
It's from the architect, this is a rail plan.
Okay, sorry.
The front is on the bottom.
We can share one.
So it would sit like this.
Thank you.
3 brands of motorcycles?
Yes, 3 brands.
Well, I have to guess what your 2 top sellers are, the Indian and BMW, judging by the square footage. It's dedicated to them.
Bit of arm wrestling.
Do you have any questions, Ron?
One question or one thing I wanted to say is, being that, you'll have, it's currently Ready-Med and the bank, which is a lot of walk-in traffic. They park usually in that center lane, maybe once in a while on the outskirts. I happen to be stopped in there today, and a lot of spaces were empty. But I don't know what you can do to school people or do something, or if there's something you can paint on the incoming lane that comes right up the side of where the people are crossing, and you're gonna have maybe motorcycles coming in a lot, and, and there's gonna be a lot of foot traffic, just to avoid any accidents or anything like that. And I don't know if you can put something, cross-hatch it, or do
Right,
something
well,
in
we
there.
could probably do some type of striping.
Yeah, like you do at Home Depot, from the parking lot to the building, they got the big wide crosswalk, basically, what
Oh,
it
yeah,
is.
you could drive a truck through, yeah.
Makes sense for everybody.
Yep.
We could entertain that, like I said, we don't.
With a straight, when you come straight in, you're going right up between that left bank of parking spaces in the end. Thank you.
We'll adjust the plan, we'll provide something on the plan
How many employees are gonna be in this building?
for you, Mark.
It's a little seasonal, obviously, in New England, but we range from 13 to 17 employees.
13 to 17?
That includes part-time employees also.
And your hours usually from, what, 8 in the morning to 5 in the afternoon, or you open till 9 at night, or?
Usually have one late night a week, that's all. So, and it's actually 9 to 6 right now, so.
John, one more question I had. The access for the, so from this one, from this plan, the access for the vehicles is all coming in through the front? Is it all coming in through the front, or is there a backside access as well?
Well, we do have the loading dock, which we will use, which will be, that's how all the bikes will get into the store. And that will be for the retail customer coming in through the front.
Okay, okay,
So the glass overhead door here.
yes,
So, this is all their service bays.
okay.
So probably, most of their stuff will probably come in this way. I would say most of your stuff will come in up near the Mass Pike side, you get the big glass overhead door.
Yeah, would
All your service bays, I'm sure they're gonna wheel them in right there.
Would the backside then be used at all? Like the portion, between the
property line
adjacent
of-
plot and your building?
No plans
Would
for
that be,
now, just
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Who takes care of the snow plowing for this lot?
Currently, it's New England Development owns the building.
They own the building?
New England Development owns
I
the
just
building.
wonder what they do with their snow storage. It must have been discussed with Ready Med and TD Bank.
I never recall.
Where is the snow storage, John?
There is none.
Well,
It's
they don't
just-
own the building, they're leasing, so the
Oh,
snow
that's-
storage would be up to the original owner.
Okay.
So it's New England Development, so they plow. They must have had, when they built this building originally, what, 25 years ago? Anyway, they probably had all that sorted out, because nothing's changed there, other than the occupants.
Okay.
That's it. The building's the same.
I don't
Everything.
think they probably just push it off and use up some spaces.
Yeah. Here,
Or
here.
New England Development owns the mall too.
Look, that was Simons.
I'm not quite sure.
Is that,
Look, that was Simons that owned the mall.
oh, I thought New England Development.
So, per the information you've given us, you have to go get your licenses and all that stuff, so if anybody doesn't have any objections, could I have a motion to approve them developing their business here?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor? Rakesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Myself, John Ring, is an aye. Good luck, gentlemen.
Good luck.
Thank you for your time.
Yes.
Vote to close.
Oh, shit. Can I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing.
May I have a second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Myself, John Riggs, and I. May I have a motion to approve the drawing as presented?
Second.
The motion.
Oh, I'll
Mike.
make the motion, yeah, sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Myself, John Riggs, and I, it is a vote. Better?
Great.
And I had it written down, too. Okay.
Grace, do you know who, is it New England Development? Or is it Simon Properties?
What else the wall?
Simon.
I think it's Simon's. Okay, the next applicant is Todd, excuse me for saying this if I say it wrong, Osterkalowitz, Quality Contracting Incorporated, requesting site plan approval under section 9.4, 2.2.5.7 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for two general service commercial buildings with site improvements. A waiver for a landscape plan is requested at 282 Southbridge Street, Auburn, Mass. 01501, map 25, parcel 25. This has been continued from our 7/12/22 meeting, and they've requested another continuance.
Yes, we got that peer review from Barry's back yesterday, so they want time to work on it.
So may I have a motion to continue?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor, Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, and I, it is a vote. Next on the agenda is applicant Robert Lemanski for GL Mckinstry Trust for a definitive subdivision plan for two-lot, single-family home development for the site improvements on property located at Clare Drive and Linda Avenue, Auburn, Mass. 01501. This has been continued from 6/12/2022. They have requested another continuance. May I have a motion to continue this to the next meeting?
I'll make the motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Myself, John Regan, is an aye. It is a vote. Other business, is there any discussion or modification, Adam?
No.
Decisions on 9 Mark Street,
We signed.
signed it. And then, no new business unforeseen by me. So we have to come to the meeting minutes that Rachel so graciously gave us. I would like to have a motion to approve as amended.
I was absent, so I'll have to abstain.
No. We can't even vote on it.
You can, but if you want to wait until the next meeting, we can.
You and I will vote on it, Ron. I'm not going to hold up meeting minutes for that. I have a motion to approve meeting minutes as as amended.
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second? Yes, I'll second. Ron, would you approve?
I approve.
I approve. It is a vote.
Oh, they have to do something.
I don't know if we actually have to do for meeting minutes. You have to do it for something that was like on a plan. What do you think? I'm not sure about that one.
I can check downstairs, clerk tomorrow. I
So we
assume
have
they're
to,
approved,
we'll
and
do
if
them
not,
next meeting.
we'll
If we don't, we're already done. And may I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make that motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, Duarkesh?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
I myself, John Rodriguez, an aye. It is a vote. The meeting is now adjourned. Next meeting is 9/13/2022.